If you're thinking about freelancing, but you are scared, so scared to quit your job, you have come to the right place, my friend. My name is Sarah Turner. I'm a freelance copywriter and copywriting mentor, and I have helped thousands of people become freelancers. And I know what most of your concerns are because I have been there before and so many of my students have been there before. So let's dig a little bit into those fears and then kind of move on to what you can do, what you can put in place to feel a little bit better so that you can take that leap of faith in yourself. So first things first, the gaps in income, the feast to famine idea of like what it's like to be a freelancer is often what people are most concerned about, right? You're often used to getting that bi-monthly paycheck that is the exact same amount. It feels really stable and consistent because, quite frankly, you know exactly what it is and when it's coming. And so the idea of being a freelancer can feel really scary because you're not sure what that looks like, first of all, but also you know that sometimes their income fluctuates, which is absolutely true. The second one is that you'll lose opportunities at your job, i.e. retirement benefits or your health insurance and things like that. So that's the second thing that I hear is that people feel like they're going to lose opportunities, which we're going to talk about a little bit more in a second. Another one is that it won't be enough. Again, that kind of touches on the first one where you're like, how does this work? Will it really work? Is it enough? Is it gonna like sustain me and my family? These are all super valid concerns. The next one is I won't be able to, or I don't know how to find work. That is another major concern that I hear all the time with newbie freelancers. And then another one is, what if I hate it? What if I hate being my own boss? What if I hate the work that I've chosen? What do I do next? Okay, so let's dig into each of those a little bit more, shall we? First things first, if you have a strong client acquisition strategy, which there are so many incredible resources, and you start to build a little bit of a reputation for yourself, which can happen so quickly, like in under a year, you will be able to make it such that you are having lots of great quality leads coming in. And that means that you have more stability in your monthly paychecks. Now, the thing about being a freelancer, especially if you're not working hourly, which I never recommend, is when you're a freelancer, you have paychecks coming in from multiple different clients, right? So you don't have one company sending you that bi-monthly paycheck. You have many clients who are paying your income and paying your bills. And the thing about that is when crazy things happen, like we all know that they have in the past, it is far less likely that you'll lose your paycheck all at once overnight because you have a diversity of clients, right? So even at the beginning of the pandemic, I was super worried about my students and what it was going to be for newbie copywriters who were just trying to get off the ground. What was overwhelming was that they had the realization that this was actually more stable and secure because they didn't lose their job overnight. Instead, what happened was maybe they lost a client. And that was a third or a fourth or even a fifth of their income. So this actually is a mindset shift that is worth pushing back on because once you see it in action, and I'm telling you this, and hopefully you can just kind of get a glimmer of hope from me, who I've been doing it for like 7-8 years now, is when you start to see this in action, you realize that it's actually more stable and secure to not put all your eggs in one basket, so to say. So really, truly, it's about making sure that you've built a strong skill set and you know how to get clients, client acquisition. Skills and client acquisition will take you so far. The second one is that you'll lose opportunities at your job. Usually people, when they say this, are talking about retirement plans and health insurance. And quite frankly, I've gotten to a place where I think that companies kind of perpetuate these benefits to keep people small and to keep people employees. Because at the end of the day, you can set those things up on your own. It's actually not that difficult. There are health exchanges where you can go online and compare policies and sign up for your own health insurance plan. And once you do it and you actually figure it out, which usually only takes like an hour, once you actually look at it and take the time to give it the attention it deserves, what you come to find out is, wow, I've been staying small, i.e. staying in this fixed income at this company out of fear of not knowing how to get health insurance when it's really not that difficult. That's something I see a lot of people struggle with. And as soon as they face it, they bring it out into the light. This is what I recommend doing with all things that feel scary. They realize, wow, that really wasn't that difficult and that wasn't worth not taking a chance on myself because I figured it out. So that is another major one. Same with retirement plans. You can set up your own retirement plan. And quite frankly, when you are able to earn more as a freelancer, because when you're a freelancer, you basically shatter through that glass ceiling that a corporation can offer you, and you're able to earn more, you realize, wow, I can comfortably pay for my health insurance and contribute to a retirement plan, and I still have more earnings left over. It's a really, really wonderful feeling. The next one is that it won't be enough. Now, again, this is so worth pushing back on, because if you take the time to really figure out your budget, the things that you're going to need to pay for, you are going to be able to cover your bills and more as a freelancer. There are so many people moving into this way of doing work and careers. There's a huge shift happening. Economists are even calling it the Great Resignation. And it's because people are realizing there are far more opportunities when you are a freelancer to set up your own schedule, your own day, how much you earn. The other wonderful thing is as your skill set grows as a freelancer, you are able to charge more for your work. So you're not waiting for some manager to say, okay, cool, you just got a little raise. And guess what? It's less than inflation. And so it's not really a raise every year. Instead, you are able to say, okay, my skills have grown tremendously in this past year. I'm now able to charge a little bit more. So you get to grow at your own pace. This is one of my favorite parts about being an entrepreneur. The next one is that I won't be able to find work. Sometimes it's because people think that everything is oversaturated. And this is one of the biggest myths of all time. There is so much work. In fact, one of the biggest things that people are most scared about when they start writing with me is that they are going to end up in an oversaturated niche or something like that. But so quickly, they realize that there is an abundance of work. And that's because so many businesses are shifting online, and they need freelancers of every kind. And the great thing about being a freelancer is typically you're supporting smaller businesses, right? The big names, Nike and those guys, they use agencies, and they are able to dump tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, probably millions of dollars, right, into their marketing efforts. But the small businesses, what would have been your local mom and pop shop in your town, are now moving online. And so they need freelancers, graphic designers, virtual assistants, social media marketers, copywriters. They need freelancers, photographers. I mean, it's endless really, to help them with their business. And that is why there's such an explosion of opportunity for freelancers. The next thing is, what if you end up hating it? So this is where I'm going to dig into some of my best tips for people who are worried about joining the freelance world out of fear. So here's the great thing. You can start as a side hustle. I really encourage you to do it anyway. So what you can do is find some sort of career opportunity in the freelance world, like some of the ones I just named, and you can start as a side hustle. And what I mean by that is just starting out doing a little bit on the side, part-time even. I promise you that if you sit down and study something for 30 minutes every day, even after your 9 to 5, that's how I started. That's how so many people have started. You can have a full-time job and start a side hustle and then slowly grow it into your own business. So I don't recommend actually that you take some giant risky entrepreneurial leap. I know it's glorified today to take that big risky leap, but I actually think the best way to do it is to grow a small side hustle. And that can be something that once you get comfortable in both your skill set and in your client acquisition, then you'll see, okay, I see how this works, and now I'm ready to take that leap. And you'll have such a more confident leap into entrepreneurship and freelancing when you do it that way. My other tip for you is to build up some savings. It takes time to make a transition. And when I was first starting out, I had to actually look at the things that I didn't really want to look at, i.e. like the student loans and the debt that was piling up. And it's so scary to make a shift when you have like debt looming over you. But I promise you, because the earning potential is far greater as a freelancer, it does make more sense for a lot of people. So do what you can to help yourself too. Maybe you can downsize. Maybe you can move somewhere that's cheaper. A lot of people do that. Maybe you can get rid of some stuff. You can sell things. You can do a lot of different things when you get creative about how to kind of give you some cushion financially. The other thing is you can find supportive people in your life to encourage you. Now, I do recommend that keeping your dreams safe from people who don't quite get it. Usually the generation before us don't quite understand this concept and think it's really crazy and reckless. So it might be a good idea to keep it safe from some people, like protect your dream a little bit. But the friends that you have in your life and the family that you have in your life who are truly supportive, let those people hold you accountable. Share your dreams with them. Start saying it out loud, because that is actually one of the most powerful parts of this entire process. The next thing I recommend is to give yourself a quit date. Go ahead, mark it on the calendar. It makes it so much more real, and make that your goal. Because when you know that in 6 months you really want to quit your job, there's something so exciting and invigorating about it. And the thing is once you start seeing all of this, it's really hard to unsee it. I hear this all the time. So often, once you start down this path, all of a sudden your frustrations at work are highlighted and you can't unsee them. And you're suddenly like, okay, what the heck? I'm ready to go now. This has happened so many times. And quite frankly, it's what happened to me. So I did end up quitting my job when I was still in credit card debt. And I still was not quite in the best place to do it. But I decided to kind of scare myself into getting everything together. I had built a side hustle and I knew what I was doing and that I liked copywriting and I knew how to earn clients, but I definitely wanted to free up time and I wanted to take that big old leap. But you don't have to do that. You really can ease in. It's all about knowing what's going to work best for you. So I hope this helps. If you have been considering freelancing, it is the best thing that I have done in this career journey. And so obviously I strongly recommend it. You can figure it out. Definitely dig into mindset work because that's going to serve you so well in this journey. All right, I hope that helps. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button if it did. Please leave your comments. What's it like for you to be a freelancer? I love reading your comments. And of course, please don't forget to subscribe. It means so much to me. Thanks, guys.